everyone, Jesse Garcia, Shelby Block. We're here to give you a quick Greater Sacramento real estate market update. I'm sure we keep getting a lot of questions about our clients, our friends, our family, about where the real estate market is at, where it's going, what our opinion is. And obviously it's all speculative because if we had a crystal ball, we probably wouldn't be doing this.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, we'd probably, we'd be on vacation doing something else. And so just a really quick overview. And I think if you want to jump in, you can chat and add comments, and we'll get back to it later if you're just commenting on the Facebook post as well. Or if you're even curious about just the value of your own home or what it would sell for in this market. And we can definitely give you an easy home evaluation and work that up for you in the next 24 hours and get that to you pretty quickly. So we're going to go through just a few of the slides here, and what we're going to go through is a 15-year. You should be able to see the slide presentation here. What you're going to see is basically a 15-year span of the real estate market, and it's a 15-year glimpse from 2002 to 2017. And what's funny is a lot's changed. Right? A lot has changed in the real estate market, and you'll see here that a lot's changed and a lot hasn't really.
The patterns are pretty relevant, I think. They show a lot on how we tend to see the market go up, go down, and it all, I think, follows itself.
Well, I think this is as close as we can get to a crystal ball.
Right.
And really start looking at the patterns. And even before I got into real estate, I kept hearing real estate cyclical from anybody who's maybe an investor, just very savvy when it comes to real estate. It's all cyclical. And you're going to see in these slides that it is very much true, and how that works. So let's go through this real quick. So this is a 15-year glimpse, and just to kind of set the stage a little bit. This is the Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado counties, the Tri-County area combined. And you're going to see the data over the past 15 years. And we're going to start with this slide. This is for sale versus sold. So you're going to see the lighter green is for sale. The darker green is what's sold. The red line is pending, and the blue line is new listings. Now, right away, you're going to look at this and see a spike between 2004 and 2008. And you're going to see that nice little whoop. And if you remember back this far and you lived in the area, that was the market boom and the market crash. And the funny thing is, you look at this, the patterns, they're still there. Right. Same patterns, same cycles. And so we look at it and go, what's changed? And you're going to look at this and see, great, a whole bunch. The inventory was through the roof during 2004 and 2008, 2009. And what was happening then, right? You had the short sales, you had the foreclosures. The lending industry and the banking industry was going through a whole bunch of ups and downs, right? 2008 is right when I think, some of the major financial corporations shut their doors. And then you see over the past, 8 to 9 years after that, the correction, the real estate market correction. And you look at this and you see great number of homes for sale, sold, pending, new listings versus the time frame. The cycle's still the same. Right. Except right now we have crazy low interest rates.
Exactly.
Right. And we'll get into the pricing of homes and all that later. Let's just dive into that now. So, and if you have any questions about this or you want copies of these slides, please just send us an email or comment on the Facebook post. We'll give you all a 15-year high from a price per square foot. Now, again, this is the Tri-County area.
Right, as a whole. And I think we're just below where prices were, back in. You can see that fluctuation back in 2000 and between 2004, 2006. We're almost there.
Yeah, and everybody can speculate. Oh, it's upticking towards another bubble. Have we reached the top? And a funny quote I always love is that pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. And if anybody's interested in selling and they really want to start looking at selling, now's a great time because you can tell it's still going up. And we never know when a market shifts until 6 months later, 6 to 9 months later.
Well, and also I think it has to do with, like you said, the interest rates are still good for buyers. And that has a lot to do with, sometimes sellers don't think about that too. I mean, the price, what you can get for the price of your home is great, but it keeps a higher buyer pool as well, because you have to have people that can still qualify for the loans. And when the interest rates are still good, they're still able to maybe afford a little bit more, versus when the interest rates go up, it might push people out of the price point for what you want to get for your home.
Absolutely. And that's the great thing is that, right now we're at a really good pace of kind of an appreciation. Homes are still going fast if they're priced right. We'll get into that later. But you're absolutely dead on, is that interest rates are so low, which makes a larger buying pool. If that interest rate goes up a whole percent, you just knocked a complete buyer pool out of being able to afford your house. Although it only takes one person, but you still you kiss a lot of frogs to get that prince. And I'm not calling any buyers frogs. That was an analogy. And so you see that the average price per square foot is going up. And obviously the crystal ball, don't know. Our best guess is you can say, yeah, it can maybe squeeze a little bit more in there. It can go up a little bit more. And buyers may be looking at it going, well, why would I want to buy at the top of the market? Well, look at the interest rate. Right. If you're looking at, I want to buy this house and I want to flip it and make a lot of money, probably not going to happen right away if you want to just buy it, flip it, unless you know what you're doing. Right. You talk to, we have really good friends that know how to buy and invest in real estate and connect you with them. And then when it comes to buying and go, I want to live in it for 5 years, for 10 years, this is my forever home. The price is not going to matter as much as the interest rate at this point. So,
and what you're able to afford on a monthly basis, because that can all change with a spike in interest rates as well.
Absolutely. And then so the yellow bars are the average cumulative days. I can't say that. Whatever. The average days on market. And then the purple line is the sale price versus the original list price. And you're going to see that the average days on market are now decreasing, because I think just from seeing what's going on in the market, a lot of agents are educating their clients on here's how we need to price your home.
Absolutely.
Right. You look back in 2014, that nice little spike there. I think people were getting really excited about the appreciation, the market height, the homes going up. And they're like, well, this house down the street sold for this, and I have granite, so it's worth at least $50,000 more.
Right.
And they throw it on the market, and it sits on the market longer, because buyers are really the ones that are going to tell you what your home is worth.
Right.
Right.
It's only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it at the end of the day.
And so right now you're starting to see that little nice decline, because sellers are putting their home on a market as a reasonable price, that it's a win-win.
Yep. And
it's moving quickly. So that's that slide. We're going to keep this short. Average selling price versus asking. I love this slide. And the reason being is because the green line is for sale, the red line is sold. So in a very simple term, it's the green line is what sellers hope to get for their house, and the red line is what they actually get for their house.
Right.
And you're going to start, like I said, you're going to start seeing that little dip right at the end. Actually, I think I have a little whiteboard feature. I want to try this since we're here. And you can see this little dip right here. I'm going all John Madden and Gruden on this thing. So you see that dip right there, and I think that is because you're going to start seeing the sellers become a little bit more realistic of, that you see a nice little incline right here. You see that incline right there, and sellers going, I can get more for my house. I can get more for my house. I can get more for my house. And all of a sudden it's, okay, maybe I can't. Let me reel it back a little bit and say, let's get it on the market. And because of that, you see a nice little steady increase there.
Right. And I think too, it also shows that with that increase, it shows the sellers that were ready to jump and take advantage of the increase, and that understood that it may be the peak of what they can sell. And then that decline shows a little bit maybe of the sellers that were still hoping to get a little bit more, but didn't necessarily jump on it and take advantage of what they were able to get.
Well, and we're working with sellers right now that money's not their It's not their end goal. I mean, obviously they want to make money, but he has to move for a job. He's
towards the end of the year, a lot of people have job relocations or, whatever it may be. The needs change a little bit versus what they want. So
yeah, and price could be negotiable. Maybe the seller needs a rent back to stay there a little bit longer while their new house is getting ready to close escrow, or
that might take precedence over maybe an extra $5,000 or something that somebody's willing to throw at it.
Exactly. And the big thing too is when it comes to a strategic standpoint, when you're working with us or say any realtor that you're working with now, is the strategy of pricing is most buyers are looking at homes online at about $10,000 to $25,000 increments.
Right.
They're going to look up to 300. They're going to look up to 325, up to 350, up to 400. And if someone's looking up to 400 and you go, I want to get 405 for my house.
Right.
You just weeded out everybody searching up to 400,000.
Right.
So I just think there's more of a strategic standpoint, and it's like, right, do you want your house to sit on the market for an extra month, which is what is your mortgage payment, versus just drop the price to where you need it to be to move it quickly.
Exactly.
But not give it away.
Absolutely.
And then months of inventory. Look at this. I mean, you were almost still, except for back in 2012, we're still at a close to 15-year low of inventory, right? Supply versus demand. So you would think that because supply is extremely low, demand is high, that homes are going to continue to increase in value. We're not seeing a massive spike. We are seeing that gradual appreciation. Yep. Just from a gut reaction, something's going to have to change soon, right? The inventory is going to go up. Prices are, appreciation is going to flatten or start depreciating, or interest rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't stay like this forever. The government won't allow it.
Well, and I think too, we saw before we started, I mean, just on the MLS today, there's, as of right now, 135 new listings that came on the market today. And I think that inventory is going to have a lot of play because, back in maybe April or May, June, we were seeing a lot of people that wanted to sell. The market was still pretty high, but they were worried about where they were going to go next, right? The inventory was still pretty low, and people weren't wanting to sell because they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to find something else. And I think that inventory is now starting to spike a little bit. So for people that were maybe in that position can feel a little bit more comfortable because there's more opportunity to be able to purchase something, after you're looking to sell, especially with interest rates still being good. You're pretty much almost as a seller at, close to a win-win because you can still sell for a relatively good price, get a good interest rate still as another buyer to be able to find something else. And with more homes coming on the market, I mean, you have more to choose from now.
Totally. And, we're looking at the MLS right here. And we have what's called a 24-hour market watch, which lets us know in the last 24 hours, we can designate areas. And this is the entire Tri-County area.
Right. Again,
Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado County. And so, like Shelby said, just in the last 24 hours, 135 homes hit the market. Yep. Right. And so some people from a seller standpoint goes, well, I want to wait. Just know that if you put your house on the market, or you wait and your neighbor puts your house on the market, say 10,000 less than what you wanted to sell your house for, that's competition. They just dropped your comp if it sells for that. You want to beat them to the market and set the price for your neighborhood. If you don't do that, somebody else is going to. Yep. So by sitting on the fence, you run the risk of doing that. Price reductions, right? We're starting to see that more and more because sellers think they can get more for their house because they're really, their realtor is either not educating them properly on what they should do to price their house and they're letting the client run the show.
Right.
First of all, that's dangerous because if I went to an attorney, I'm not going to tell him how to do his job. Absolutely. If I went to a doctor, I'm not going to tell him how to do his job.
Or what to prescribe me.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. But for the most part, if you're working with the right person, they're going to educate you and show you and prove. Right. This is why we want to price your house this way, not just because I pulled a number out of my, what. Yeah. There's strategic data for that. And so price reductions, just in the last 24 hours, 116 homes reduced their price in the Tri-County area. Yep. And that's potentially saying something. If the market was hot and it just kept going up, why are there so many price reductions in a 24-hour period?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that what that shows is that, like you said, people either, one, realtors aren't educating, or two, some sellers may not be listening to the information that's being told to them. And as a seller, I think the best thing that you can do is, you know, find somebody that you can trust and know that the information that they're telling you is current and relevant to your situation.
When you look at this on these numbers too, new listings 135, sold 92. There's a surplus there.
Yep.
If that keeps continuing down that same pattern,
you're going to see more price reductions.
You're going to see more price reductions. You're going to see more inventory. Supply is going to go up. You know, demand is going to go down. Absolutely. And prices are going to follow, and so will interest rates. You know, so this is the last slide. Like I said, if you want copies of this slide presentation, we'll send it to you. Just email us, comment on the Facebook post with your email, just private message us, and we'll send it to you, no problem. You know, you can email either one of us, Jesse, Jesse, Shelby, you know, at prosperityregroup.com, and we'll email you the slides. And if you're curious about the value of your home, we'll email you value of your home. Just give us your address, and we'll run the comps and tell you, hey, ballpark, you know, without seeing your house. And it's very speculative. It's a good guess without seeing your house first, because your house could be the nicest home on the block, and or we can get there and it could be the complete opposite, which would affect the value of your home. So reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you. Hopefully this gave you an idea of what's going on in the real estate market. You don't get a lot of this information from the news. You don't get a lot of this information just in general.
Yeah.
And I think
usually I think the news is about 30 days behind.
Maybe 3 to 6 months behind.
Of what is actually going on too. So
maybe we should go like on Good Day Sacramento or like KCRA3 News on a monthly basis and give a so at KCRA3, you know, CBS, Good Day Sacramento, we're happy to come on and just educate people on the real estate market. We're more than happy to. But yeah, reach out to us, give us a call, 916-960-4700 if you're curious about buying a home, selling a home, investing in real estate. Or just even curious about the value of your home, or want copies of these slides. Again, 916-960-4700. Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, you want to drop the mic?
All right.
Drop the mic, walk out. All right, just dropped. Mic dropped. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll do this again every month. Thanks, bye.